Hey everyone, back again with another tutorial, this time about how to get a garage row garage in Motorsports Avenue. So first things first, you want to use the Motorsports Ave garage baseline. So once you have this in, notably you are not allowed to change anything about the outside of the garage, so do not change this anchor, do not change the colors of these walls, do not change the location of the garage doors. That all must stay the same. On the inside, however, we can change these inside walls. So these garage inner walls, feel free to make these any color you would like. Like I said, just cannot change the outside stuff. So don't change how the doors look. Don't change the walls. Don't change the size of this. Don't change the roof. Don't change any of that. If you want to have a separate ceiling color, my suggestion is to take one of your garage inner walls, resize that, and then you can put that like that. Just make sure it doesn't stick out the outside, and then you could also have a ceiling color. Once you have your garage itself, um, now we need to start putting things on it. So I have the Race Shop materials pack for you to use as well if you want to use it. Notably, this rack is incredibly large, and so will take up basically all of your room in here if you try to use it. But is a good way to store a lot of cars if you're trying to store a lot, because you can store them on top of one another. We also have the trophy case if you're someone who has kept on to a lot of the trophies that you've gotten dirt. We've got our lift and our toolbox. Notably, the lift, if you actually noticed, is a little bit too tall and sticks to the ceiling, but it doesn't stick through the roof, so it's not that big of a deal. If you really care about it, you can always resize that down a little bit so it doesn't stick through the ceiling. Um, let's say we put that right there, or I guess maybe a little bit further deeper. And then we have our toolbox. Just some ideas. Obviously, do whatever you want with your own shop. We got our tires. Imagine we put the tires in the corner back here. Move the rack out, or like back towards this wall some to give some room for the tires. We could also do the tires like this. You know, different ideas, different ways to go about doing things. And then I decide we don't want the trophy case. Now we also have our Motorsports Avenue car blocks. So we bring those in. I take the whole block folder. First things first, you guys don't need the toter. You don't need any of these trailer blocks, these big long ones. They're too large to fit in your place because if we just look at the open, for example, we move it so it's just barely inside the garage, boom, it's out the backside. So for you guys on garage roll, those aren't for you. Next up though, we have our cars. So find the car block that you want for a particular car and move it into its place. The side that has the like decal on it, that is the nose of the car. So in this case, let's say we put this right here, like so. And so now the nose of the car is facing out towards that way, and we're going to replace that in a little bit. But let's get some other cars in here. Let's say Pro Stock, and move that like down here on the rack. Maybe get ourselves a late model. Also put that on the rack, and so on and so forth, right? You get the idea. Now what we want to do, and we'll also do a sprint car as well, just because they have a special thing, so we'll show that. Now after we have all that, we want to skin these. So what you want to do for that is get your ID number and click on the decal, so you can double click the decal and it will select it, and then you put the decal on there like so, right? And that is going to put that paint scheme on that car when it goes in game. We can also go inside the block and we can see rim color, tire brand, type, etc. So rim color, obvious, change the color here, then it will become the color in game. Tire brand is either Hoosier or American Racer. The way that you do an American Racer tire in game is by changing the tire brand to Amer Racer, like this. That will make it American Racer in game. And then our type, if we actually go back to our garage in the README file. Oh, no, I guess we don't put it in the README file there. That README has all the rules about how the garages work, so please do watch over those. I think it maybe is in the README inside the folder of the car blocks. Yep. So these tell you what you need to write in the type to make them work. So make sure you write them in exactly as they're written here. As you can see, the Amer Racer for the tires. So make sure to write that in correctly. So for this one, the type is Rocket, which is what my car already is. Pro Stock, similar situation, right? So for me, my Pro Stock is also on the base type, which is already marked in there. Now, my Pro Stock actually has a color change element to it. So if we actually look through here, you can see that's going behind it. Whatever color you make this block is what color the car base body will be in game. You can also change the reflectance of this block or the transparency of this block, and that will be reflected. Maybe not transparency. I might not actually let you have that because that would be weird, but I guess you could try it. I forget what I did. But reflectance will be put in and color will be put in. Now in game, if you ever do this in dirt, the reflectance is automatically 0.3 and the color is automatically white. So if you want it to look like how it's going to look in dirt, then do that. Otherwise, if you're just doing it for something special around your shop, recognize that whatever color you make this block is what color the car will be. Rim color and tire brand again. Our big block, this one does not have a type, so you simply put the decal on it. Still has the tire color and rim color though. And then lastly, so our sprint car. Our sprint car is where it gets a little special because sprint cars have two items. They have the body, which goes on the white decal, and then we have our wing, which goes on the top. Now, most notably, if you're trying to get these IDs, by the way, what you want to do is on Roblox, I should have it already open, but on Roblox, in your inventory, go to your decals, and then click any of your decals. Take that number there and slap it on in here, and that will automatically work. Because in Studio, it will take that number and convert it for you. If you take the new number, so for example, let's take Tim's truck that we have here. Let's just slap it on here to show. So it ends in 400, but when I click it here, we now see it now ends in 937. If we take this number here and we put this in the dirt game, your scheme will look better than if you try to use the 400 number instead. So that's something to learn about. So if you want to get your stuff looking better, you can use the quote-unquote studio ID. And it will actually improve the quality a little bit. And so let's say this is now our whole package here. We don't want these anymore. So take all of our stuff and make sure to jam it down inside the garage. And then we would right click, save to Roblox, and then make a model and make the model. And then when it comes up the model, give me the link. I will then take it and I will put it in. If you ever make changes to your garage after you send it to me, you will do this again. You will right click the garage, overwrite an existing asset, find your garage here in the list. So for example here for me, boom, there's my garage. I click save, and then that will automatically import the new type of garage into the game, the new updates I've done to my garage. I cannot stress this enough. You need to keep everything inside your garage. If you take a car, like let's say I take my late model here, and I put it outside like this, and I update my model and I put it in game like this, I will delete you from the garage program. That is one of the biggest rules. You cannot have things outside of the garage. You also cannot put things through walls, because if you do that, you're going to be in somebody else's garage. So please be mindful of how you are building your garage, that you are following within the rules. Otherwise, I will remove you from the Garage Row program. And this is how to get your garage up and running. If you mess any of this up when you send it to me, I will tell you what you did wrong so you can try to fix it. If you are consistently not getting this right, I just won't add you to the program because it will be too much hassle to try to control you to make your garage correctly. So please watch this video. Please understand what I'm saying in it. Um, you know, if you need help, you can always ask me for help, but don't just go around screwing it all up because I will remove you.